Hello, I'm Angela Mills, and I'm the author of Bobby the Brown Long-Eared Bat, beautifully illustrated by Kate Wyatt, with a foreword kindly provided by Chris Packham, who is the president of the Bat Conservation Trust. Now, I've been asked to read the book for the Reading Bat Festival and also for Devon Wildlife Trust. So here goes. But before I do, let's see what Chris Packham has to say about bats. Bats are brilliant animals. Birds and insects fly, but the only mammals that truly fly are bats. And they see with sound. See with sound. That's amazing. It was amazing when I was a kid, and it's still amazing now that I'm an old bloke. Long-eared bats have always been my favourites because they have big, massive ears. And when I was younger, I thought they looked cute as opposed to barber-style bats, which I thought were ugly. But now I know that in nature, there is no cute or ugly. There is just effectiveness. And all bats are very effective, superb predators, and thus very important in making the world go round. It may sound silly, but you and I can't do without bats. Sadly, many bat species are in trouble, big trouble. We are using too many chemicals in the countryside, and we're destroying too many of their homes. Bats need our help, your help now. Please enjoy this book and think of a way you can help these amazing animals. Now I'm going to page through some of these lovely illustrations that Kate has provided. And we'll start with the story. It was June the 21st, and it was a very special day, for not only was it Midsummer's Day, but also Bobby the brown long-eared bat was born. In the old farmhouse, a number of mother bats were resting, huddled together with their pups, hanging downwards along the ridge beam in the attic, with their long ears curled backwards like ram's horns. Amongst them were Bobby and his mum. What a strange world, thought Bobby, who was suddenly upside down and surrounded by lots of noise and batty chatter in the maternity roost. Yet Bobby felt safe with his mum, aunts and cousins, for the attic was warm and snug. Now, which one do you think Bobby is? I always think he's this very smiley one in the bottom right-hand corner. Which one do you think he is? Do you agree? So, dusk was approaching, and Bobby's mum was thinking of going out to find food. Some of the other mums were taking their newborn pups with them, and the pups clung to their mums tightly as they swooped out of the roost. Bobby's mum, however, decided to leave Bobby in the care of his aunts in the comfort of the attic while she went out foraging. Some time after sunset, when it was quite dark, Bobby's mum flew out of the roost, making sure that she could not be seen by the inquisitive eyes of the owls that lived nearby. She flew around the trees, catching lots of insects, and after perching in the old barn to feed, she headed off in the direction of her favourite foraging area, the woodland over the hill. Can you see Bobby's mum? There she is. In the roost, Bobby waited patiently. About an hour before sunrise, Bobby's mum returned. This happened every night whilst the weather was warm and calm, and Bobby grew and grew over the next few weeks, but how he wished he could go outside too. He would watch some of the older pups bravely venture out during this time. How exciting, thought Bobby wistfully, but he knew that he would soon be ready to emerge and try his wings outside for the first time, because he practiced flying every day with guidance from his mother. Bobby would fly up and down the attic whilst the resident mice looked on in awe. Oh, if only we could have wings, they sighed. Let's have a look at the mice. There they are. Oops, Bobby suddenly found himself on the floor. He picked himself up and was just about to start flying again when he spied a small hole in the floorboards. Being a curious bat, he crawled towards it, despite a worried warning call from his mother. As Bobby approached the hole, hot air rushed up to greet him. What could be below, he thought. The warm air was just too enticing, so he decided to crawl further when, whoosh, he fell and landed on a wooden beam. Uh-oh, he's looking a little bit worried there, isn't he? Bobby found himself in a cosy farmhouse kitchen with a large fireplace and flagstone flooring. He basked in the heat, but the light was a little bit too bright for his liking. He could see the farmer and his wife in two big armchairs by the fireplace, while Barney the collie dog rested on a rug at their feet. Molly, the farmyard cat, was busy lapping up milk. Can you see Bobby in this picture? He's way up on the wooden beam, and they're so unaware of him down below. Bobby was unsure what to do next. He couldn't go back to the attic as slippery white paint on the ceiling made it too difficult for him to crawl upwards. So he decided to fly up and down the room looking for a way out. Farmer and Mrs. Trevelyan were suddenly startled to see this unexpected visitor swooping above their heads. Farmer Trevelyan jumped to his feet. "What do we have here?" he asked in a kind manner. Meanwhile, Molly the cat arched her back, leapt high onto the kitchen table to try to catch Bobby, whilst Barney pricked up his ears at all the commotion. Quick-thinking Farmer Trevelyan walked across the large farmhouse door and opened it. A gush of cool air entered. After circling the kitchen a few more times, Bobby made his escape, through the open door and out into the night. Phew, that was close, he thought. For the first time in his life, Bobby was outside the familiar farmhouse attic. His instincts told him to look for cover, and Bobby found this in an old oak tree, lush and full of leaves, its branches casting shadows on the moonlit floor. The old oak had given shelter to many creatures over the years, and it was Bobby's turn tonight. An owl hooted in the distance. Bobby waited and watched. Nighttime creatures passed below, unaware of Bobby high up in the tree. Time went by. What do you think happens next? If you like, you can pause right now and go away and write your ending to the story. Otherwise, listen in. Bobby could see the outline of the farmhouse, but he needed to get a clearer view of his surroundings, so he began to echolocate. He flew around the old oak, squeaking his high-pitched batty squeaks, too high for a human ear to hear, and the return echoes helped him create a picture of the area. What a clever bat! Not only did Bobby now have a better view, but his mum and all the bats in the farmhouse roost could hear him calling out too. There he is. Oh, jumped onto the next picture. You can see what happens next. Bobby's mum and all the bats in the attic were so relieved to hear Bobby's cries. They swooped out from beneath the eaves to help him and encouraged him to leave the old oak and join them. Bobby felt confident with the support of his mum and the bats from the roost, and he danced happily with them in the night sky. This was Bobby's first opportunity to go foraging under his mum's expert teaching. Over the hill they flew, along the tree line towards the woodland, the sheep and cows, unaware of their batty friends, fluttering noiselessly above, barely detectable flitting shadows against the night sky. Bobby and his mum hovered and swooped with stealth and caught lots of insects amongst the woodland trees and the foliage of the hedgerows, along the edges of dew-covered fields. They were so busy they almost forgot the time until Bobby's mum called out to remind everyone that the sun would soon be rising and they should all return home. Oh, the safety of the farmhouse was a welcoming sight for Bobby, but what an adventure he'd had. In the bats swooped one by one. Farmer and Mrs. Trevelyan were unaware of the bats' busy night. The day began to break. The birds began to sing, and as the farmer started his working day, the bat snoozed happily in the attic, waiting for the night to come again. So that is the Bobby the Brown long-eared bat book, and 10% of the net proceeds goes to bat conservation. I hope now you know a little bit more about bats and their lifestyle and their echolocation. And just go online, support your local bat groups and the Bat Conservation Trust if you can, and think of ways that you can help these amazing little creatures. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.